What is up, everybody? Today I wanted to do a special video, something I've been wanting to do for quite a while since I finished all the arcade playthroughs, and honestly even before I finished them, a Mortal Kombat Armageddon tier list. So for this tier list, it's not going to be like a normal one of what character is the best, which character is the worst. This one is solely going to be based off of how I feel about the character and how fun I think each character is. Starting off with Ashrah. Ashrah I think is a really fun character. I think she has some cool combos. The spinning special move that launches, her grab launches, she's got some cool stuff, but overall not like one of my absolute favorites, so I'd probably put her about a B tier. Now Baraka surprised me. At first going into it, I usually am not a huge fan of Baraka, not a huge fan of the way he plays, but he has some really fun combos, and his one string that you can loop in the air to keep them popped up and extend the combos is very fun, and he's actually really fun in Mortal Kombat 1 as well. So I'd probably put him about an A tier, although Mortal Kombat 1 or any other game is not going to play into this, just solely Mortal Kombat Armageddon and how they play in this game. Actually, let's go ahead and get Female Chameleon out of the way because I have not played her because I don't have the Wii copy. Eventually I will get one and I will play her, and then maybe I'll have to come back and do it again. But for now, she's going to stay in haven't played. Now, Male Chameleon. Male Chameleon is interesting because he is obviously a mix of all the male ninjas, and he does have some interesting stuff. I don't know if he's one of my favorites though, or someone who I would always want to go back to and play in this game, but he is definitely not like bad, but I don't think I'd put him on the same level as Ashrah. Now Blaze. Blaze obviously is the final boss of the game. He is cool. I think he's a fun boss, not as good as Onaga or Shao Kahn or the Deadly Alliance, but not as bad as Shinnok personally. But his gameplay is very simple. A lot of punches, a lot of slaps. The special moves are like a roll, the ground pound, the heal, the teleport. He just doesn't have a lot going for him, just like some very basic combos, so he'd probably be a D for me. Cyrax is a pretty cool character in this game. He does some interesting things with his combos, and the bomb setup is always fun, but I don't think he's gonna crack into A tier for me. He'd probably stay B tier with Ashrah. Dagon, obviously one of the only new characters to this game besides Taven. Very important to the story, but in my opinion, he's kind of just like a lesser Taven. He kind of just does what Taven does, but not as well and not as fun. He would probably be a C tier for me. Dairu is interesting. He definitely has some strong tools competitive wise, but for me personally, I don't think he's too fun. I think he's not as bad as Blaze, definitely not, but I don't think he would crack into Ashrah and Cyrax tier, so I would leave him as a C. Darius is another interesting one. He has some pretty unique looking special moves. I like the blue color on them. He's got some flashy stuff. Overall, though, probably not like a super crazy fun character for me. I think he's, again, would probably stick in that C tier, yeah. Draman is an interesting character who I definitely think should come back, at least as a cameo, if not as a full playable character. But in this game, he's pretty cool. He's got the ground pound with the iron club that would launch you up in the air. You get lots of combos off of that. He has the uppercut, which is fun. He has the spinning club, which is a pretty busted special move, especially in Deception. But still in Armageddon, still pretty good. But overall, probably not, again, would put up here with Cyrax and Ashrah. Probably, again, another C tier. Now, Ermac, on the other hand, is a very fun character for me in this game. He has lots of cool combos. I love that you can launch and then continue into the lift and combo extend after that. I think that's great. He would definitely be on the same tier as Baraka for me, not S tier. Definitely on the same tier as Baraka with me. I love his combos. He looks really cool, really flashy. Frost. Now, Frost is an interesting one. When I first played the game through, like on my own, not recording or anything, just doing all the arcade playthroughs with all the characters, she was probably my least favorite. I absolutely hated her. She was like not fun at all. I couldn't find any cool combos, but going back and doing the video again, I actually had quite a lot of fun with her, And because of that, and because of some of the stuff I found and her cool special moves and the differences she has from Sub-Zero, I would say she's actually a B tier for me. Fujin is another character who, in my opinion, should definitely come back, especially after MK11. But in this game, he is very fun. He has the 3 special moves that link into each other, which you can't break, so it's like easy, like 20% unbreakable damage or something like that. But besides that, linking those special moves into his combos is pretty fun, and I think he would probably be another B tier. Oh, not me. Goro, of course, Goro. If you watch any of the speedruns, you'll see that Goro is the main character used in the speedruns, and he's the character that I have the speedrun world record with. But I wouldn't say he's like super fun besides that. Like, obviously speedrunning is very fun. I love doing that, and I enjoyed it. Although there definitely were times where I was a little mad, but mainly because of the RNG of the breakers and parries and stuff like that. But overall, just like a normal casual arcade playthrough, I would say he's not the most fun, and he's probably, I don't think I can put him in C tier. I think, yeah, he would stay in B tier. Havoc. Now, I know a lot of people love Havoc and are very excited to see him come back, as was I, although I think he was not great in the story and he should have done more with him. But that's a different video. In this game, I'm still, honestly, I've never really been a fan of his playstyle. I know a lot of people enjoy him and think he's a very cool character, and I think he's a cool character design-wise and concept-wise, but when it comes to gameplay, I'm not the biggest fan, and he would probably be a C for me. Hotaru. Now, in my opinion, he is the #1 character who should come back now after Havoc. But his gameplay in this game is pretty good. I think it's probably more enjoyable than Havoc for me. But I don't think he could be up into the B tier. I do like his lava launch move. I think he has a good design. I think he is pretty fun, but I don't think he cracks C tier for me. Suhao. Okay. I know everyone hates Suhao except for like maybe 2 people, including me. Character-wise, design-wise, concept-wise, he is not a cool character at all. He's just the worst Kano. He just should not come back ever unless it's his head rolling on the ground in Aaron Black's intro. Like, that's the only way he should come back. But that being said, this isn't about the characters. This is about how fun they are. And I actually had a very good time playing him on my recent playthrough. Because of that, I think he honestly will be a B tier. As much as I hate to put his ugly face up here, he's gonna be a B tier for me. Jade. Jade is a cool character, definitely fun. I'm trying to think of what she does. I like the kick. The projectile will reflect is probably be more effective not against the computer, because they're just not going to throw projectiles at you hardly ever. So because of that, and because you can't really experience her as much fully as a casual, like just doing arcade playthroughs, she would probably end up in the C tier with me. Jarek. Now, again, another one of those characters I think is not great, and I would be very surprised if he came back, and I wouldn't really be upset if he didn't. But despite that, I think he is honestly pretty fun. Some of the combos you can do, getting in the down 2 or the uppercut, launching him in the air, and then finishing it with the rope kick, I think is a really cool combo extension. And for me, he'd probably be B tier, maybe 8. No, I think, yeah, he'd be B tier. So Jax in this game is interesting because there's so many characters in this game, and because of the stances and the weapon styles, he is very similar to Striker. They are very similar characters. Jax is basically just a better version of Striker because they have like the same weapon, the Tonfa, and I think even maybe the same hand-to-hand, but for whatever reason, Jax just does more damage. But even saying that, I still really didn't have the most fun with him. I did like using the machine gun, but I don't think I could put him above C. And now that I'm doing this, I think I realize I need to add in a row and do F, because I think when I do get to Striker, he's just a works Jax, so I have to put him below. So I think adding in an F and just make it this color, why not, would make sense. Oh, not the same color. I think that would just make sense to have another one to add them into there. So right now, Blaze, I don't think he deserves F. I think he deserves D. Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage is very fun in this game. He surprised me because I'm not a huge fan of Johnny Cage. I think he's a great character. I think he should be in the game. But I'm not a huge fan of him normally gameplay-wise. And in a game with ninjas and robots and wizards, I'm just not going to play the funny guy who is just a movie star. But saying that, in this game, he is actually very, very fun. He has really cool combos. I like his projectile. I like the kick. I like his green stuff, which should definitely come back. He's very enjoyable. I like what he can do, and I think he's actually going to be the first S tier. Cabal is... he's okay in this game. He's got the speed, obviously, the nomad dash to stun and get a combo. I like his throw. I do like using the hook swords quite a bit. I don't think he's C tier, but he's definitely not A, so I think he's going to end up in B tier for me. Kai ended up being one of the biggest surprises in this game, right next to Frost. He is very fun. He doesn't get the most damage, and I think if you just got a couple more like points of damage on some of his special moves, I think he would be honestly S tier. But because of his damage holding him back and some of his moves being not working or not tracking very well with the upwards fireball and the downwards fireball, it's kind of hard to put him any higher than A for me. I want to put him in S because I love that downwards fireball and launching them and still being able to get the combo after that, but he's gonna have to stay in A. Kano is again another one of those characters who I think is cool, but I'm okay with him just being a cameo. But gameplay wise in this game, he has some pretty fun stuff. He's not like a bad character or anything, but he's not, again, with the other C tier characters, which is where he's gonna go. He is just not stand out enough to make it above that for me. Now Kenshi is an interesting one. Kenshi used to be my favorite character, which we'll get to my new favorite character soon. He used to be my favorite character, and it's probably my second favorite still. But the weird thing is, I was never a huge fan of how he plays. I like his combos, I like the mind stuff, I like his special moves, I think he looks great, I think he's an awesome character, and he always deserves to be in the game, like always should be a slot, or at least talked about. But I'm just not a huge fan of how he plays in the 3D era games. Like, he's fun, he's not bad, but I don't think he cracks the B tier for me. Kintaro. So Kintaro, actually, when I was young and when this game came out and I was a kid and I first played it, he was actually my favorite character because I love tigers. I was like, oh, this is a giant tiger basically, so he's my favorite. Definitely not my favorite anymore, but I do think he should come back. And I like his differences than Goro about how he's more like savage and he has like the crazy fire breath and all that stuff. And he's like maybe stronger than Goro, but not smarter, so he like fights more like an animal. I think he's a really cool character, but I don't think he's as fun as... I'm trying to think about it because Goro really is only this high because of the speedruns. Like, that's the only reason why. But I think Kintaro as a character and the pull-in move and the dash grab move, I actually think he's probably more fun. And so I think he actually is equal to a B tier. And really, Goro's only up here because of speedrun, which isn't really fair, but he's going to stay there. Kira. She is busted in this game, if I remember. No, sorry. Serena is the one that's busted. Kira is not busted in this game. She is not great. She's just okay. She has some cool stuff, but again, another one of those characters who just kind of goes by and wouldn't crack the C tier for me. Katana in this game is actually really fun. I feel like she is always kind of known as like the combo queen. Like, she always has really cool combos with the fans, with the lifts, and air punch or square wave. And I think that goes along in this game. And I think she's pretty great to play in this game. She'd probably be an A tier for me for sure. Baraicho is not my favorite character. He is definitely a character that I am not a huge fan of, and I'm definitely okay if he doesn't come back and just stays as like a cameo or just doesn't come back at all. Because to be honest, not a huge fan of the throw up fart burp guy. Not really a fan of the character and not really a fan of his gameplay. I know he has some like infinites or something with throw up, but I think that might have been just Deadly Alliance, not Armageddon. But yeah, not a huge fan of this 3D era character. I think he's actually going to be a D tier for me. Cobra was another surprise. Again, I was just like, this is just a Street Fighter character. He doesn't need to be in Mortal Kombat. That's how I used to view him as I was younger, and I still kind of view him as that way. Don't think he really needs to come back. Maybe a cameo would be cool, but not much more than that. But in this game, he is actually pretty decent to play as, and I did enjoy making his video quite a bit. So he's at least going to be in B tier for me. I don't think he cracks B tier though. Kung Lao is an interesting one in this game because he's got a great design. He is pretty fun to play as. I love the hat toss. The teleport is interesting and leads to some pretty cool combos. I would like to put him at A, but I feel like he just has like one thing holding him back, and he'd probably be the B for me. Noob Saibot is very fun in this game. He's fast. I love the Troll Hammer. It's such a goofy name. I think he's very enjoyable. I like his simple kind of but fast combos that do good damage. I like the ninja stars, being able to combo into that. That's one of my favorite things, is throwing projectiles and then continue a combo after throwing the projectile. I think that's awesome, and he's a great example of it in this game. And because of that, he would definitely be an A tier for me. Love him in this game and love his design. Well, this one doesn't, I don't know where to put the creative fighter because they can be an F tier or they can be an S tier. So maybe I should have created a tier for them, but because you can do anything with them, you can make them as fun or boring as you want. They have to be S tier because they can be super busted or they can be normal and like not that great. I love Li Mei. She is without a doubt my favorite female character. Even Deadly Alliance, Deception, Armageddon, even into MPA1. I love her playstyle, love the way she plays. She's super fun. She's always had awesome and amazing combos. So without a doubt, she's going straight to S tier. Liu Kang is usually a character that I'm not a huge fan of. He's always been my brother's favorite character. But I was always just like, he's kind of basic for me. But even though I'm saying that, character-wise, yeah, he's kind of basic to me, not someone I would pick to play as my main. But in this game, he's actually very fun. I like that you can launch up, do like a 1-1, I think it is, and then do the bicycle kick. I think that looks really cool. I think it does good damage too. I think he's fun, he's fast. I like his throw, it just feels quick, feels snappy. I think he would definitely be an A tier. Movado was a surprising one. So when I first played through with him, I was like, okay, he's cool. I like the rope thing. I'm excited to see him as a cameo coming back, but nothing like too special. Kind of just like Cabal, got the hooks, but with ropes. And then I discovered his one string and his weapon stance that continues the combo in the air, and you can do a bunch of things off of that. You can launch, do that kick, and then still get like an air combo after that. And I just think he is a sick character in this game. I think he has amazing combos. I just think he's super cool. I think it'll be awesome to see him come back. He's definitely going to be an S tier for me. Another surprising one is Meat. Meat, definitely a joke character. Although I do think he should come back, at least as a cameo, because I think it'd be really funny. He is crazy in this game. He has a really broken infinite with his one throw where he picks you up and breaks your back over his knee, where if you're close enough to the wall or the corner or whatever you want to call it, he can just loop it over and over again. You can't recover, you can't do anything. The only thing you can do is break it, but obviously you run out of breakers and you're screwed. On top of that, he also has good combo damage, and it's just really fun to play as. I think I did a max difficulty playthrough with him because I was like, I'm just use the infinite, it'll be easy. And until you get to the boss characters, and then they kind of mess you up. But I think, I don't know, he's crazy and he's a joke and he's dumb and he shouldn't come back, but I hope he does. And because of him being a joke character and actually being fun, I think I'm going to put him in S tier just because. Melina, just like her sister, is very fun in this game. I liked the side toss. I think it looks great. I think she has a cool costume in this game. I think she's fun to play as. Let's get a new song. I think she's fun to play as. I think her arcade playthrough just as a casual way, even if you can't do like cool combos and air infinites and stuff, I still think she's very fun. I think she is definitely on par with her sister. Of course, she's got the ball roll, cool combos off of that. Overall, definitely on par with her sister. Mocap is another Joe character who should never come back. I think he's dumb. I think he's terrible. I think he's just like one of the worst characters. But at the same time, I think he is kind of funny. And if he was a cameo, I wouldn't honestly be mad about it. That being said, even though I think he's terrible as a dumb Joe character, he is actually pretty enjoyable to play as. He's pretty fast. He's got the 2 hand-to-hand stances, no weapon stance, and he's pretty unique in that sense. And I just think he's got some sauce in this game that's actually fun. And believe it or not, he is an A tier. Nope, not S, A tier. Moloch. Moloch is terrible. He would be the worst, absolute instant F tier, without a doubt. Just trash, terrible, no fun at all. Just smack you, do a dumb unblockable, just terrible. Until I found out that he can do an infinite that is absolutely ridiculous and actually fairly difficult to pull off. But when you do it, it's really funny, and I think he's actually cool because of that. And just because of that infinite and how fun it is to do, he's B tier. I know it makes no sense, but he's B tier. Motaru has been stripped in this game. He's been stripped of 2 legs. Because of that, it's automatically a tier down. I know I said the character doesn't, the character's like look and whatever doesn't count, but it counts for this one just because it's that bad. That being said, he's okay in this game. His AI goes crazy and will always kick my butt for whatever reason. But playing as him myself, I'm not the biggest fan. I think he's okay, but he's just not like super special. And I feel like I do like his stance though. His stance into the like mule kick and the projectile is pretty cool. So he's not going to be an F, but he's probably going to stay a D tier. Nightwolf is awesome in this game. Nightwolf is just an underrated character overall. Love him. I think he absolutely should come back, whether it's a female Nightwolf or just a different user or character who has the title, whatever you want to call it. Nightwolf should definitely come back. I think he's great, and he's super fun in this game. He's one of the first characters I came up with this combo that I was super proud of. If you haven't seen it, you can watch the combos video. It's really cool. You use the tomahawk stance. You can launch them in the air, do one of his strings into the dash, and then you can continue and do the string again and then dash again. And when I came up with that, I was like, that's absolutely amazing. I love doing that. That's fantastic. And because of that, he's going into A tier. The only reason why he doesn't go up to S tier for me is because besides that, he doesn't have anything too crazy. So I can't put him in the S, but I think I'll keep him in A. Nitara, I know people were so excited for her to come back, and then Megan Fox ruined it. I'm sorry, but her voice is absolutely terrible. That doesn't matter for this game, though. I think she's okay. She's not fantastic. She's not bad. I don't think I could put her in B tier. I do like the blood sucking and that it like gives you some health back, I believe. I do like the flying with the wings. It's kind of cool. But she's just doesn't have any crazy combos that I came up with, and I think she'll probably sit in C tier. Let's see, Onaga. Onaga is a very cool boss. I think he's should come back 100%. I mean, they mentioned him so much with the outros and stuff. He absolutely needs to come back. But in this game, the boss characters aren't that great, in my opinion. None of them are like amazing. Like Goro and Kantaro boss characters made it up to B. And I think that's the farthest a boss character is going to make. Onaga is just not fun in this game, in my opinion. He doesn't have that many cool combos. His special move is just kind of lackluster. I actually think he's going to be the first F, which is sad because he is a very cool character and should definitely come back. Quan Chi is definitely unique in this game. He has a very interesting move, which, again, you don't really use it on the AI too much, but you can. It's probably better in like a competitive sense, but you can. There's one move where he like, I think it's the same animation, honestly, as Shang Tsung's like Soul Suck, where he gets health back, except Quan Chi, what he does is he makes it so the opponent can't use their weapon, and that alone is really cool and just a unique move that only he has, I believe. And that alone is definitely going to boost him up to at least a C tier, but he also has some very long style branching combos that are very cool, and he can get lots of damage. He has a good launcher with his kick, special move, and yeah, he's definitely just a good character, and I would say probably a B tier for me. Raiden's design in this great. First of all, Raiden's design in this game, is great. I think the PS2 era design is definitely a cool one, and I hope that if they do continue to do the MK1 like Deception, Deadly Alliance skin packs, that he gets his, or at least one similar. His gameplay isn't bad. I like his one grab special move where he just picks you up, zaps you, and like throws you on the ground or kicks you, whatever. That one's pretty cool. His grab animation itself is actually pretty cool. I like his little wind pose. Smashes the ground and lightning appears because, of course, lightning everywhere. Gotta have it. He's got his lightning, the Superman charge or whatever you call it. I can't remember what it's called. His projectile is kind of meh. Projectiles in the 3D era in general are usually not great. So I think he's probably C. I do like his grab a lot, but I think he probably ends up being C tier for me. Rain is another character in this game who I hope his design comes back. His design in this game is amazing. The main one and the alternate, just absolutely amazing. Definitely should come back. But his gameplay is not my favorite. This might be some bias because when I was a kid, he would always destroy me on the arcade ladder. So that's all I remember when I see him, and I just hate him for it. Even though he was like the main character I played in MK11 when he came back, I was like, I hate you, but I'm gonna play you. I haven't played MK1 yet because I'm not a huge fan of his playstyle. Right now in MK1, I'm stuck with Scorpion Sector combo, and I'm having a lot of fun with that, especially with the Deadly Alliance skin. I was like, okay, well now it's sealed that he's just my main. Like, there's no choice. But anyway, Rain in this game, he's fun, but he doesn't crack C tier for me. I do like his teleport. It's a really good teleport. I like his throw. I do like his water kick, and some of his combos are very cool, but he doesn't crack C for me. Reiko is an interesting one because, again, another character that absolutely should come back. It's great to see back in MK1, even though he annoys me in that game like to no end. But in this game, I like the projectile. I like his teleport. I like his dash. I like his flip kick. His flip kick is very cool, but I don't think it could crack B tier for me just because I feel like I wish his combos were a little bit more, or like just more damage, or just something holding it back from going above B for me. Reptile is another one where I feel like he has some cool stuff. He has cool special moves with the dash and the ball, and I enjoyed playing him, but he doesn't do anything like super spectacular, so I think he's probably going to stick with C. Serena in this game, as I was saying before, is completely busted. She has like the quickest projectile ever, like one of the few projectiles in this game that are actually useful. It's super fast. It goes full screen, I think. You can spam it like crazy, and there's this weird glitch where if it hits, if you time it right and you press the throw button, you'll just teleport to them after landing the dagger and do a throw. So it's super fast projectile, does good damage, you can combo with it, and it can give you a throw somehow. Like, it's absolutely busted. She's super fun to play as. I like doing, like I said before, launching them, doing like a button or whatever, using the projectile, and then finishing it. I love doing that. I think that's great. But she doesn't crack S tier for me. I think she stays in A. Scorpion in this game is amazing. Scorpion is great. He was great throughout the 3D era. He was super fun. Really like good combos. He has some like simple ones. You can make him a little bit more advanced, adding some more stuff in there, and just make him do plenty of damage, like very, very practical damage, safe launcher. He's got the Hellfire, unblockable. Yeah, he's definitely gonna be an S tier. I did the max difficulty playthrough with him because I was like, I know I can just abuse this safe launcher and it'll be fine. Sector is another one that I had a lot of fun with. I don't think he's gonna go up to S tier because he's just not like the peak of just like broken and like the most ridiculous combos and stuff. But he's easily an A tier. The teleport into the style branching combos with the lightsabers, even though I know they're not lightsabers, but they're lightsabers, which he should definitely get back, by the way. I love him using it as a cameo with Scorpion MK1, but if he's ever playable again, I want to see his lightsabers back along with Cyrax's lightsabers. But I do definitely prefer him over Cyrax. I think he just has some cooler stuff, some better combos, more fun overall. Shang Tsung is pretty interesting in this game. I like the Soul Steal. I feel like some of his combos though are kind of lackluster. Like and this could just be me. This is just all, you know, my personal experience of what I could come up with. I do like using the soul steal and getting that health back, and for whatever reason, when you're using the sword stance, the weapon stance, it gives you more health. So I do like the fact that I have to, like, we don't have to, but the way I do the combos, I launch them, do a button or whatever, switch to the sword stance, and then do the soul steal to get like extra health. I do like that. But he's just kind of basic. I don't feel like he has anything too crazy. So he would stick with the B for me, excuse me. Shao Kahn is really fun. Shao Kahn is, I guess, technically a boss character. And I was thinking he might crack into A, but actually just because he's very unsafe. Like, all of his buttons feel like unsafe. Everything he does just gets blown up in your face if they block it. But he's still very fun. He's got some cool special moves, although I really don't understand the one where he, like... Wait, no, sorry, that's Kabbalah, who has the one where he just slams into you and you both just smash into each other. Shao Kahn's actually makes sense, and he just grabs you and then kicks you. Never mind. Now I want to move Kabbalah down to C just for that dumb move, but I won't. No, Shao Kahn is pretty fun, but just because of how unsafe he is, and not having the craziest special moves, like I like the little shield reflect, and like that one grab kick move is just kind of meh, and the knee is cool. But yeah, he doesn't crack B tier. Shiva's okay. She has some cool stuff. I like her launcher, and then mixing that up with like the slam. But I feel like she didn't have like the craziest combos, and there wasn't like anything that I can remember being super like stand out, like amazing and fun. So she'd probably just stick with the C tier. Shinnok, please don't come back. I don't like you. No one likes you. I mean, I'm sure that people like you, but please don't come back. We don't need him back. I promise we don't. He is, even though I don't like him as a character at all, he's okay in this game. He's really not terrible. He's definitely not F or D. He's probably gonna stick with C. I like his bone. I like the skeleton hand that comes up and grabs. I think that's a really cool looking move. I like his little teleport, even though it's kind of has weird reactions sometimes, so that makes it fun. Doesn't have like crazy combos or anything I can remember that's like too amazing. I think maybe his throw combos into the skeleton hand, which is pretty cool. But yeah, he's probably gonna stay as a C for me. Shujinko is a very cool character. Super glad he's back as a cameo in MP1. Definitely should have come back. Honestly, I'd like to see him as a playable character again in some part in the story with Onaga or something like that. But in this game and Deception, he's super fun. He's got really cool combos, of course, just taking moves from other characters. But the ones that they picked are actually really cool, and he's kind of like a mixture of female chameleon and male chameleon, because I know he has Li Mei's flip kick. I think he has Scorpion Spear, and he's got Sub-Zero's Ice Ball, so he's got like 2 stun moves. He's got Ermac's Slam, so that's like a combo extender, and Li Mei's flip kick, which is another combo extender, so he's super fun and has some pretty awesome combos. So I think he's going to be S tier. But for some reason, there's just something holding him back that feels like No, he's S tier. He's S tier for sure. They gave him a great set of moves to use. He's definitely S tier. Sanel is interesting. She has the Scream, which is great. Another stun. Her slide is weird, but it usually works on the AI, so that's nice. I don't remember her having like super amazing combos or anything. Like, I don't think she had bad ones, but I don't really remember anything too crazy. So she, again, is going to be another character that is probably rides in the C tier. Again, it's been a while since I've done some of these videos, like the early ones, so I could be forgetting things, but for my memory right now, she's going to sit in C tier. Smoke with this absolutely terrible design that never should come back. Although if it did come back, it would be kind of funny, and I would definitely buy it, because 3D era skins are just, I'm going to buy them no matter what, even if they're terrible, and I think they're terrible now, and they'll always be terrible. I'm still going to buy it. That's just how biased I am towards these games. Which you'll see that bias very soon with our last character. Smoke in this game, he's pretty cool. I like his grappler. I do like that you have both the skins. Even though this doesn't play into the playthrough, I know it's still cool to see the robot skin and then this, whatever you want to call the Smoke form. That's not good. He's okay. He's not bad. But I do enjoy the throws. I like the grappler stance. One of the few characters, like with Mocap, who is hand-to-hand. He's so Mocap. I can't remember if I said Mocap was the only one who had that, but he's not. Smoke has 2 hand-to-hands, and I do like going in between his stances. I think he's definitely above a C tier, but doesn't crack into that A. Sonya is pretty interesting this game. Usually a character that I'm just like, nope, stay away, not gonna play, just not fun for me. I tried her a little bit in MK11, but I was like, no, just not for me. Not a big fan of just the basic like special forces characters. But despite disregarding that though, in this game, she is actually pretty enjoyable. She doesn't have like the craziest combos or like the most flashy special moves, but she just like has some things that work, and some of her strings I think just look good, and she has some cool enough combos to crack into that B tier. Striker, like I was saying before, is basically just the same as Jax. I'm pretty sure they have very similar hand-to-hand stances, and I know they have the exact same weapon stance, which is kind of unfortunate, but I understand with 63 characters in the Wii version, or yeah, 63 if you have a female chameleon, is a lot of characters, and so it made sense that someone was going to end up having, like some of the characters would end up having similar stances. It makes sense. Unfortunate though, as it is for Striker and Jax, because there's like, you pick whichever one you play first, you're gonna be like, oh, this one's just like that. So for me, I think I did Jax first, or even if I did Striker first, I like Jax more just because I think he got more damage, and because of him just being very similar to Jax, and I think Jax just being more fun with the gun, I think he does go down to D tier. Although I do enjoy the stun gun, I think it's funny, but yeah, I think he goes down to D tier. Sub-Zero is right up there tied with this character right here as my favorite to play in this game. I love both of them. Taven, I'll go ahead and spoil, is my favorite character in all of Mortal Kombat. I know it makes no sense because he's just boring and just like a dude who shows up in one game and doesn't really do a whole lot besides fight in that game and just have fireballs and a ground pound. It doesn't make sense, but I'm so biased towards this game that he is, yes, absolutely my favorite Mortal Kombat character, beating Kenshi now. But Sub-Zero definitely ties him as my favorite to play in this game. Super fun, has super cool combos. I don't want to say cool because I don't want to do that pun, but oh well, I already said it. Super cool. I'm going to lean into it now. Super, super cool. Super fun. Love doing like the trick of like using the clone and then throwing out the ice ball and then throwing out the ice pillar just to like completely block out the AI and just manipulate the AI so that they just can't get on you at all, and when they do, they like step into the clone or they step into the pillar, and then you can get like a full like 57% damage combo. Love his combos. I think he's great. He's definitely tied with Taven as my favorite to play, so of course he's going straight into S tier. And like I was saying, Taven is my absolute favorite Mortal Kombat character. I love him. I think he's a fantastic. I know he's pretty basic and doesn't have anything crazy, just the fireball, the ground pound, the backdash into the punch, and the charge, so nothing like crazy, but I think it just all mixes together so well, and I think he has a great design, especially his alternate design with the armor. I think he looks great. I think he's super fun to play as. I think he's a much superior version of Dagon basically, and for me, he's just absolutely top tier, absolutely an S tier. I love him. Will always be happy to go back and do 100 videos of just doing an arcade playthrough with him. I think he's fantastic. Love him. Tanya, on the other hand, I don't love. I think she's a cool character. I'm glad to see her back with a new design in MK1, although I would love to see her 3D era one in the game at some point. She is just okay to me. She's not super special. Her little like dive move, whatever you want to call it, the little like, I don't know why I want to say cylinder, the little like spin move, that's what it's called. The spin that launches, which you can do like into itself to launch twice, is pretty cool. And she gets some ridiculous damage with her weapon. Like, it literally doesn't make any sense why she does that much damage. But she doesn't do anything too spectacular. And I don't think she's, like, super special or over the top. Definitely not an A tier, but I can't put her in a C tier just because of, like, the crazy damage she gets. So she's definitely a B. But, yeah, so that's it. That's all the characters, all 63, I believe, ranked. Again, this tier list is not how good these characters are. It's just how much fun I had playing with them and doing their arcade playthrough videos specifically. But yeah, let me know if you agree with any of these. Let me know which ones you disagree with, because I know there's going to be lots of disagreements. But yeah, just let me know what you think. Tell me how terrible my list is and how Li Mei is the worst character in the game and Onaga is the most fun. You know, whatever you think, that's great. This is just my personal list. But yeah, let me know if you guys enjoy this type of video, and if you want to see a more tier list. I don't know what I would do a tier list on. Maybe I'll do a Deception or Deadly Alliance just for fun, even though I don't really know those games as well. If you guys enjoy this video and it does well, then maybe I will. But yeah, let me know what you think of this video. I'm definitely planning on doing more videos in the future with my voice in them instead of just the raw gameplay. But if you do enjoy those videos, don't worry, those ones aren't going anywhere. That's my favorite type of video to make, is just straight gameplay. Just throw it up there, make a little thumbnail, see how it does. Those are definitely my favorite to make, so don't worry, those aren't going anywhere. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe and keep up following the channel. There's definitely going to be lots more videos now that I do have a good microphone. So yeah, just take care and have a good one. Peace.